Hello everyone and welcome to the Financial Monster channel. Today I have a very special guest, one of the biggest investors in the world and the best-selling author, Mr. Jim Rogers. Mr. Rogers, welcome to my show and thank you for accepting this interview.
It's nice to see you, Milos.
I have a couple of questions for you, Mr. Jim Rogers, and first will be, what is the current state of US and North America economy? Is it that bad?
Well, no, it's actually getting much better because the US, especially, I'll start there, has borrowed and spent and printed a huge amount of money. And whenever you spend a lot of money and print a lot of money, things usually get better, at least for a while. And that's what's happening in North America, Mexico, Canada, and the US.
For those who are not familiar enough with this topic, does printing money really decrease the value of dollar?
Eventually, of course, it's like anything else. If you have too much of something, the value goes down. It doesn't matter whether it's apples or whatever it is. Money, everything goes down when you have too much of it.
You're often telling us that debt levels are unsustainable and about the terrible price we will have to pay eventually. Can you tell us something more about that?
Well, again, throughout history, countries that get themselves, countries or families or companies or people that get themselves too much in debt have to pay eventually. You either have to pay the price or you suffer badly. And every country in world history that has gotten itself too much in debt has gone into decline and eventually suffered. And that means the citizens have also suffered.
For those who don't know, you're in Singapore now.
Yes, I live in Singapore.
And my question will be about that. Why Singapore? Why not United States? Is it some private reason or maybe something else?
No. For many years, I have felt that people should teach their children and grandchildren Chinese. I had two children. I wanted them to learn Chinese. So we moved to Singapore. In Singapore, they speak English and they speak Chinese. Everything works in Singapore. So we moved to Singapore so that my children would speak Chinese and know Asia.
What history really teaches us? Should we forget about gold and silver as politicians advise us?
Well, I haven't forgotten about gold and silver. I own gold and silver. I'm not buying any right now, but I know I will buy more gold and more silver before this is over, because whenever things get bad, when people lose confidence in governments or in money, they always turn to gold and silver, and they will again. And sometime in the next while, gold and silver will be much, much more expensive.
When it comes to crypto, are Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies really the future?
Well, I have never bought nor sold any cryptocurrency, so who knows? But there are several hundred cryptocurrencies have already disappeared. There are a few thousand cryptocurrencies now. I don't know that they will succeed. Some people have made a lot of money buying and selling them. Some people have lost a lot of money buying and selling them. My view is that if they ever become real currencies, if they ever compete with national currencies, governments will outlaw them because governments do not like to lose control. Governments do not like to lose the monopoly. I wish they would lose their monopoly, but they don't like that. And history is pretty clear that if a government doesn't like what you're doing, they put you out of business. But so far, they're just trading vehicles. It's not a threat. I don't think it's a threat to any government. They're just trading vehicles, and I don't see anything wrong with that if people want to trade them.
And you say the copper is the new gold. Can you tell me something more about that?
Some people, copper is making an all-time high in price now. Some people are very enthusiastic because it looks as though we're going to have electric vehicles in the future, and electric vehicles use several times as much copper as regular vehicles. So if the world is going more and more electric, copper is going to be more and more in demand. It's in demand anyway for electricity, for infrastructure, for other things. So copper, many people think has an exciting future, and it is making all-time highs.
Next question is about inflation. Your point of view. Is this the beginning of the end?
The beginning of the end of inflation? No, unfortunately, throughout history, governments like to take the easy way, and the easy way is to inflate. So we will have more inflation in the US and the world, not just in the US, but everywhere in the world. Because when you have the large economies inflating, everybody inflates. So it's not good for the world, but we have more inflation coming.
Some people think that commodities are, as they say, boring. Can you tell me what you think about that statement?
Well, I do have commodity indexes, and I own commodity ETFs that are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. I hope they're boring, because if they're boring, I might make a lot of money. The things that go straight up and usually go straight down. So I hope that these boring commodity ETFs just go up steadily for a long time. I'll make more money that way.
Next question is about something that you mentioned. You say, don't let hot tips ruin you. Why you say that? And do you still think that we should not listen these hot tips?
Hot tips will ruin you. I've been around a long time, and hot tips nearly always wrong. It's somebody who doesn't know what she's doing or trying to drive the price of something up. It's most often not a good way to invest. If you can invest and make money with hot tips, do it. But nearly everyone will tell you that hot tips will cost you money. Stay, if you want to be successful, stay with what you know. Do not listen to hot tips. Do not listen to other people. Just invest in what you yourself know a lot about.
You're a successful man. Can you tell me in short notes how you succeed? What was your main goal and what is your goal now?
Well, my main goal when I set out, I didn't have any money, and I wanted to buy my freedom. I didn't want a lot of cars or houses or airplanes or anything. I just wanted to have enough money to be free to do what I wanted. And I still don't have an airplane or boats or things like that, or a lot of houses. I just want the freedom to be able to live as I want to live and to do what I want to live without having to answer to a lot of other people. That was my goal, and so far I have succeeded.
And for the end, if I ask you to tell me your message, your advice to our listeners, what advice that will be?
Well, if you want to be successful and make money as an investor, you should stay with what you know. Do not listen to the internet or TV or hot tips. Just stay with what you know. If I tell you you can only have 20 investments in your life, you would be very careful about what you invest in, and you wouldn't jump in and out. You wouldn't listen to hot tips. You would just make a few investments in your life, and you would make a lot of money. I hope that everybody will just stay with what they know. It may not be as exciting as jumping in and out every week, but it's certainly much more profitable.
Okay, Mr. Rogers, thank you very much for your time and good luck.
Thank you, Milos. Thank you very, very much. Bye-bye.